Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday. Got New Year's coming up. Um, Working today. Just had one of my joint venture partners send me a deal, and in the state of Texas. This was a mortgage overage, and unfortunately, there's no surplus funds, even though on its face it looks like there should be surplus funds. And so I wanted to share with you a little bit more about that. So here's the situation. Property sold this month. It sold for $164,000. I can't remember what the opening bid was, but the original debt was $118,000. So just those two numbers alone, you would think that there's an overage, right? Because 164 is quite a bit more than 118. Unfortunately, there's no surplus. Why is that? With mortgage overages, one thing that's interesting is the homeowner can actually owe more than what the original debt was. Let me say that again. Sometimes the owner can owe more than what their original loan balance was. How is that possible? So, like I mentioned, this property, this specific one, on its face, it looked like there was surplus funds. And sometimes the opening bid is usually what is owed, right? But in some cases, the opening bid can be less than the total debt amount. That's not the norm, but that does happen. And so it is good to know, ask yourself the question when dealing with mortgage overages: how long has the property been in foreclosure? Okay. So going back to the example, sold for 164, original debt was 118. But guess how long this property has been in default, meaning been in a foreclosure process? 6 years. This foreclosure process was started in 2013 and finally has concluded this month with the auction of the property, the sale of the property. So that means that this homeowner has not been making a mortgage payment since 2013. They've been living there since 2013, but they've not made a payment since 2013. So 6 years, they haven't made a payment. And during that time, all of that is accruing, that interest, those non-payments, those fees, all of that is accruing. And so what has happened is the lady owes more than what she originally took out. And that happens. It does happen. What's crazy is that's not the longest I've seen. I saw a guy once who had, basically postponed the foreclosure of his home for over 10 years. For over 10 years, he didn't make a mortgage payment. Crazy stuff. Like, the foreclosure game is kind of crazy sometimes. So, unfortunately, my joint venture partner, they had this deal, the client signed up, but there's nothing to recover because she hasn't made a payment in over 6 years. And so now she owes more than what her original loan balance was. Pretty crazy, but it does happen. And so when you're working mortgage overages, it is good to know how long has the property been in foreclosure. And I just did a very lengthy video on this inside my my joint venture group on Facebook, kind of explaining this and showing how do you find this out, how do you find out, you know, how long a property's been in foreclosure, how do you find out what it sold for, what are the documents you need to look at, where do you find those documents, how do you do it for free. And so I just did a training on that for my joint venture partners. But I wanted to give you guys, you know, do this real quick and give you guys that tip where if you're working mortgage overages, it is good to know how long the property has been in the foreclosure process. Okay, because sometimes people can owe more than what their original loan was. It doesn't happen all the time. I would say it's pretty rare, but it does happen, just like it happened today. So want to give you that tip. I'll hopefully that helps. If you want to get started in the business, you can check out my website, www.overagesyndicate.com, and you can start learning the process and how to do these deals profitably and potentially partner with me. So go check that out, overagesyndicate.com. And yeah, that's it, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.